Hi again, Sandy Plains families. I'm here today with a story problem math lesson. Today's math lesson will be on result unknown story problems. So here's a story problem I have posted. I'm going to read it to you. Driana has 64 dojo points. London has 36 dojo points. How many dojo points do they have altogether? Now, the first thing we do when we're doing a story problem is we visualize what's happening in our brain. This helps us to picture what's going on. I'm going to highlight certain points in the story problem that help me to picture what's going on in my mind. So I can see that Joanna has 64 dojo points. So I can see in my mind the dojo screen up with Joanna's name and the number 64 in the bubble. London has 36 dojo points. So again, I can see in my head London's little class dojo avatar with the 36 points in the bubble. How many dojo points do they have all together? Okay, that tells me that I'm taking Driana's points and London's points and I'm combining them. So that tells me in my brain the number will get bigger. So that means I'm going to be adding. Excuse me. In second grade, we like to set up our problems using the Ess system. That stands for equation, strategy, sentence. The reason we like to do two strategies is because that will help us to check our work to make sure we've done it correctly. So the first step is to write the equation. So I can see I'm going to go sentence by sentence to write this equation. So it says Driana has 64 dojo points, right? And London has 36 dojo points, and I want to know how many they have all together. Now I'm leaving spaces here because I didn't know at first what kind of problem I was doing. So now I can write in, and bear with me because I'm using my finger to draw here, a plus sign, and I'm going to put a box where my answer will go. Then we're going to do our strategies. The first strategy I'm going to show you is the place value strategy. That's where we take our tens and our ones, we separate them to add the tens together, then add the ones together, and then we combine them back for the answer. I know that in a two-digit number, the first number is always a tens value. So I can see that in the first number of 64, there's a 6 in the tens place. That number's value is 60. I can see in the number 36, there's a 3 in the tens place. So the value of that is 30. Okay. 60 and 30, if I count, that's just like adding 6 plus 3. I just put the 0 back to the end. So I can see 6, 7, 8, 9. So this total is 90. Then I'm going to add my ones. So I can see in the number 64, there's a 4 in the ones place. I can see in the number 36, there is a 6 in the ones place. And I definitely know my make tens facts, and 4 plus 6 is a 10. Now that I've added my tens and I've added my ones, excuse me, I need to combine my answers. So for my first equation, I had a 90, and for my second equation, I had a 10. So I'm really good also at skip counting by friendly numbers of 10. And if I count by tens, and I can say 10, 20, 30, 70, 80, 90, 90 plus 10 more is 100. So that is my answer. But I need to check my work. So I'm going to do the second strategy. So the second strategy is the keeping one number whole strategy, and it's one of my favorite strategies. And for this one, we use the open number line. So I'm going to draw my number line. And it's called an open number line because I don't have to start at 0 or 1. I can start at any point I need to. So for my open number line, and when I like to keep numbers whole, I always start with the biggest number. And the biggest number up here is my 64. So I'm going to put 64. And since I'm adding, I'm going to start on the left side of my number line. Now, excuse me, I need to break down the 36 into smaller pieces. Well, looking at the number 36 and looking at the number 64, I see a make tens fact in the ones place, 4 and 6. I personally like to get to a friendly number. So I'm going to hop 6 places from 64, and that's going to take me to my next friendly number of 70. And now, looking back at the 36, I only have 3 hops of 10. I can do this one of 2 ways. I can make 3 hops of 10 and do 70 plus 10 is 80, 80 plus 10 is 90, 90 plus 10 is 100, or I can take the whole chunk of 30. And I know 7 tens plus 3 tens is 10 tens, which is the same as 100. So I must have added correctly for the first time. The last step is to write my sentence. I always want to answer that question. And the question in the story problem says, how many dojo points do they have all together? So I'm going to do my sentence. They have 100 dojo points all together. And there you have it. Now I'm going to display another problem, and I want to see if you can go ahead and use my strategy to try and solve it. So here it is. Joshua went to the store and bought 4 packs of 10 Pokemon cards. So that's your 4 tens, which is 40, and 3 loose Pokemon cards. So what number would that make? 43, correct. For his birthday, he then receives 5 more packs of 10 Pokemon cards and 7 loose cards. So how many would that be? 5 tens and 7 ones would be 57. How many cards does Josh have now? So I would love to see how you solve this problem. You can email me your pictures, or you can send your pictures to your teacher and they can get them to me, or you can just show your parent how you solve this problem. If you need to pause the video and go back and rewatch my strategy in order to help you out, please do it. Stay tuned for more videos coming your way of math problems.